Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking once more about Bionano Genomics, going with the ticker BNGO. Now I have covered this one multiple times before, so my last video is in the description below. Nonetheless, I'll give you a good update today as well with technical analysis. So let's jump right into this one. So Bionano Genomics. If you haven't heard about this one of their biggest products is the Saphyr optical genome mapping instrument. And this instrument itself maps genomes to reveal basically either some information for either research for genomes or even commercial applications. There's a massive brochure on here, around 8 pages long. You're able to check it out about this product right on their page. Nonetheless, some of the things to take a quick consideration for right off the bat is the price over book is around $425. Now, this is kind of in par with what you see with the SP500 and a lot of different companies as well. Now, the price over sales here is around $155.90, and a lot of people raise the flag on this one, but just a quick thing, this is 12 months trailing. And with Saphyr, for instance, there's a lot of developments looking into the future, so you might not be the most accurate pinpoint to look at. Now, another thing to take a quick look at is some of the recent highlights of information. Starting in today as well, they did announce that they will be presenting in the MedTech and Tools Diagnostics Summit being held on May 26, 2021 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's the next conference coming up. Although on the 13th, they've given us a good update on the first quarter of 2021 financial results, including and not limited to 179% year-over-year revenue increase driven by record sales of consumables and growth in Saphyr installed base. All 2021 milestones are on track with a strong balance sheet with $362 million in cash, and there was also a conference call, so I'm pretty sure it exists somewhere for you to look at. Now we can go ahead towards more details regarding that assets. Year over year, they raised an insane amount of cash through offerings, so currently the cash amount is $362 million compared to $35 million last year. This brings their total assets almost 6 times more higher, from $60 million to $384 million. Now, the total liabilities actually decreased from $25 million to $22 million. Now, in terms of revenue, they've seen almost a 3-time increase regarding the total revenue from $1.1 million to $3.2 million roughly. Now, the net loss, biggest part of the net loss comes in from this over here, from operations. Now, selling and general administrative fees, including $9.5 million compared to $7.4 million last year. Meanwhile, research and development stays almost exactly the same at $2.67 million. Now, the net loss is a little bit less, but very close to. Last year, it was around $10.5 million. Currently, it's around almost $10 million. So, moving on from there. Taking a quick look into some of the business highlights, it's all stated in here, and some of the things, for instance, for the financial highlights, including revenues, financials, cash, etc. But some of the upcoming milestones that are a bit more important to us. For instance, in the second quarter of 2021, the accreditation of Saphyr-based LDTs for all and FSHD in certain EU markets. Now, the third quarter of 2021 is the commercial release of prenatal assays and expansion of the menu of pediatric assays. Now, fourth quarter 2021, interim publication of results from pediatric solutions or clinical solutions. In the same quarter, validation of LDTs by 3 sites in both our parental clinical study and our pediatric clinical study. Also in the same quarter, initial prototype of the next-gen high-throughput Saphyr and reached installed base of 150 systems to achieve 50% increase year-over-year and in 2020. So that is some of the highlights that they're going through, and they did say that all milestones are on track based on the first quarter of 2021. Now, let's go back a little bit towards institutional buyers and SEC filings. But before doing so, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to scroll down below, and it should be on the corner as well. Subscribe, leave notifications on, and if you'd like to see more contents and support us, drop that like, it helps me a lot. And if you would like to join our Discord server, it's totally free, the link is in the description below. Now, when it comes in towards institutional buyers, you get to see that a lot of them have been bullish into this week, with millions and millions of shares being added. Invesco alone added 4.2 million shares. The next big thing comes from State Street on the 17th, around 111,000 shares. You're looking at 68,000 shares all on the same day on the 17th from Ionic Capital Management, Palmora Partners, looking into two segment investments, adding 466,000 shares all on the same day. Citadel added 2.5 million, Goldman Sachs picked up some, Charles Schwab, but it's not all bullish. Even though there's millions of shares being added literally in May, Morgan Stanley liquidated their entire position, 92% out. But others are seeing a bit more value into this one. It's a little bit mixed and it looks like more bullish than bearish, or at least that's what appears so. Before moving on towards technical analysis, we take a look into some of the estimates. The current low estimates or forecast is 10 bucks. The medium is 12 and the high is 14. That gives you respectively 79.2% upside, 115.1% upside, and 151% upside. The stock itself has 3 buy ratings, 0 outperform, 0 hold, 0 sell. Now we'll move on towards technical analysis. Now from a 1 week perspective, what we get to see on the 1 week perspective here, 3 months scale, that the MACD here is looking to go more towards the bullish side. So in the next few weeks, we'll see that attempting massive bullish reversal. Now on the other side, willing percent R is sitting at negative 76.85, just escaping the oversold bracket. Still more oversold than overbought. Now on the momentum, it's still gaining back momentum from where it was on negative 8 to now to negative 4.15. ADX doesn't show us much, and so does the moving averages. For that, we need to look into a 1 day perspective. Now the 10 SMA is above 30 EMA, which is a bullish part. 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA, which is another bullish part, and it's sitting in this thing called a trading action zone, where most positive reversals occur. Now, the current MACD is actually on the bullish side, on the positive side, indicating that perhaps there is a strength in this movement that it's actually seeing, and the stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both indicating and supporting that, saying that there is, and most likely will be, another leg up for this one. Now, on the moving average bands, this one is expected to trade within the Bollinger Bands, 739 on the top, and in the bottom of 426. Now, on the Fibonacci retracements, they give you kind of key level supports and resistance to keep in mind. The current support sits currently at 405. The current resistance on the Fibonacci retracements, 627, 807, 987, 1248, and 1570. Now, from a price line action, you're seeing a very strong support currently being held at 535. Below there, 510. Below there, you're looking at 453, then 423. And then it drops down towards 294, 193, and then down to the 152. Now, significant resistance levels. 599 seems to be a very strong and important resistance. After that, 679. After that, 772, 850, 970. We're going upwards to 1103, 1198, going to 1269, jumping up to 1376 and 1442. Now, we do have the almost 1569 level, but we'll ignore that for a sec. And then if we were to look at some significant channels, etc., it's a little bit harder to signify, but it looks like it's a downward channel at the current time. Now comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this stock? I love BNGO from their actual applications and their products itself. I think that for genome mapping, they're actually an interesting product. They have an interesting product with really fundamental applications both in research and in the medical industry. And I do think that there is a little bit of room to grow towards their sales and exposure, but at a given time, perhaps in the next 10 years or so, I do see this one as a successful company, especially with the amount of cash that they were able to raise and reach compliance for all this time. Now, of course, this is one of the companies that had a massive success story on the charts, coming in from almost lower 25 cents all the way to 1569. And so for that, we need to be very careful. 25 cents going to 1569 is a massive jump. Was it warranted? I would say, well, perhaps it was, but in a sense, a lot of people are going to be very skeptical, taking a look at this chart and saying, hey, is it going to drop back towards lower levels or not? And as long as this kind of behavior continues, this one will continue to be in this risk zone. So you need to be very careful when it comes to that. And in that sense, in the longer term, it's very bullish. In the shorter term, expect continuous volatility for people who doubt this one's success in the future. Again, this is more off somewhere between a value and a growth, and it doesn't really define the exact section it is in. This channel probably will continue dropping down below, and will continue trading within there. Either side breaking will really indicate the short-term movement, and that would be a strong one. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.